Fasting has become a bit of a buzzword in our society right now. Everybody's talking about it, everybody's trying it out. There's intermittent fasting, there's water fasting, there's ceremonial fasting. But today I'm going to talk to you about long-term fasting and the 3 big benefits that I've found from fasting in this way. I'm Jeddy Azuma with the Rising Man Movement, currently on day 4 of a water fast. And fasting is something that I've been doing for the past 7 years. When I first went out and did a 4-day wilderness solo fast, which I'll tell you more about later. But what I want to talk about today is some of the big benefits I've found, particularly this time around, because it's been a little while since I've done a long-term fast. So before I get into the benefits of long-term fasting, I just want to talk a little bit about the culture of fasting in our community right now. So there's a lot of people out there in the world who are getting privy to fasting. It's become a very trendy and science-driven thing, which I don't think is all bad. The problem is that a lot of people aren't bringing purpose and intention into their fasts. They're simply starting the clock, saying, I'm not gonna eat for the next 40 hours, and then watching the clock tick down until 40 hours come so you can have that cheeseburger or whatever it is that you've been craving that time. So I really just want to jump into the benefits so you can decide for yourself how you want to approach your fast if you're interested in fasting, and also bring a little bit more mindfulness and intention to why you're doing it in the first place, because there's some things that you can get from fasting by paying more attention to your experience during it than you would if you just hit the clock, watched the clock tick down, and then waited for your next meal to arrive. So the first benefit to long-term fasting is raising your internal awareness. Now, on day 1 of this particular fast, I caught myself at least 20 times going to the fridge and picking out some food, unconsciously. And obviously I didn't eat that food, but I had to catch myself in the act and remind myself that, oh, I'm not eating right now. It was so fascinating to see how my brain just does that. And I know that that's the same for other people too, but we're not aware of it if we're consistently eating. Now, I also noticed what my body actually needs. I felt a lot more energy by the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th day when I wasn't putting so much of my energy towards having food in my body. And all of these things were completely unconscious and unknown to me until I took food out of the equation. So it's important to do this in order to tune in more to what's actually happening in our bodies. Tuning into what does our body need and asking that question when we remove a variable off the table. Now, the second benefit to long-term fasting is you will have way more energy to direct towards the things that you actually care about. Now, a little disclaimer, on day 1, you probably won't feel a boost of energy. And 2, 3, and 4, if you're trying to exercise and do all of your normal activities, you might find your energy low. But in the grand scheme of things, I found that I've got greater mental acuity. I'm not spending as much time on the pursuit of food or the digestion of food in my body. Therefore, I've had way more clear and creative sessions in my work. I've had more conscious and coherent conversations with the people that I'm engaging with throughout my day. And I generally feel a better disposition towards my life because I'm putting my energy towards the things that matter, because my energy is more precious in those days where I'm not constantly putting a food and fuel source into my body. So you have way more energy to direct towards the things that you care about, and you have to be precise with how you direct that energy because there's not anything else coming in, and your body starts to understand that. So the third benefit to long-term fasting is having an overall greater appreciation for everything. Greater appreciation for food, greater appreciation for water, greater appreciation for life. When your body gets closer to death, through 4 days into a fast, your body is in greater deficit than it maybe has ever been before in your life. And you get closer to that, you start to appreciate things. I appreciate the energy my body normally has on a day. When I feel a little bit of a lower energy or I'm not feeling as nourished in my body, you begin to appreciate what it feels like to be that way. When we're constantly eating food and we're never taking a break from these normal routines that we get into, especially related to how we eat and nourish our bodies, we don't have the opportunity to really appreciate what it's like to go without it. So going without food, being uncomfortable, all of those things lead to a greater appreciation for what we have and overall just a greater sentiment of gratitude for life. And I've experienced that so much in the past 4 days, just the joy that has been genuinely coming from me. My encounters with my wife, my encounters with my kids, my ability to be engaged and invested in my work has gone from here to here by not eating for 4 days. It's amazing. So we talked about the benefits of fasting. I think it's something that everyone should practice. Obviously, take into consideration your own medical health. And disclaimer, I'm not a physician, so I'm not giving you medical advice here, but definitely some major benefits to long-term fasting. Now, it's one thing to fast for 4 days out here in the modern world where I have people around me and the normal distractions of everyday life. It's a completely different thing when you fast in the wilderness, removed from any of the normal distractions. And to do that solo, to go out into the wilderness by yourself without food for 4 days and 4 nights, it's a whole different experience. If you want to learn more about that, I got a video right here for you that will tell you more. That's all I got for you guys today. Let me know in the comments below if this information was beneficial to you and if you're going to start fasting.